Hello, everyone. Well, we are in Rome and we are sitting at the Colosseum complex. The Colosseum is off to my left. We are actually sitting in front of Constantine's Arch. And like I said, off to the left, well, you can kind of see the Colosseum. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off. I'll fly around the arch a little, or the Colosseum a little bit, and then we'll check some of the other ruins nearby the Colosseum, and then we'll fly out from there. Okay, here we go. We're going to take a look at some stuff. We'll do the Colosseum, Palatine Hill, and maybe swing over to the Vatican. And here we go. There's the Palatine Hill area. And if for some reason one of you believe it's not correct, you might very well be right, because Flight Sim has been wrong before. So if it is, let me know if I'm wrong. That's not Palatine Hill, but that's what I was led to believe. And as you saw with the Colosseum, Microsoft Simulator did a okay job with it. There's some payware scenery that does a better job, but it's a little bit buggy, so I chose not to use it. And I contacted the content creator to see if maybe he could clean up the bugs in it. The still pictures from his artwork they're phenomenal. I mean, it's like you're right there in Rome, seeing all these different sites. Pretty incredible. We'll do another flyover to the Colosseum, and then maybe head out to the Vatican. See the Vatican complex. Okay, so I'm not the best guide for Rome either on the way to the Vatican. That you can see the basilica or whatever in the distance there, but I'm not sure what some of these buildings are, so those of you know, you can make comments. I'd like to know what that white, newer concrete building is there. Let's slow down here and take a look at that real quick. Yeah, what is that building? If you know, let me know. Got some pretty cool stuff up on the roof and everything. Very cool. Alright, on our way back to the Vatican. I have flown around the Vatican. I will say they did a better job on the artwork with the Vatican than they did with the Colosseum. Which is actually a shame. I wish they would have done as good a job with the Colosseum, but anyway, that's what it is. So I'll probably do another video once I get the better scenery. This really is a pretty area. Okay, so there's the Vatican coming into view there in front of us. I'll try to fly in and do some close-up slow stuff. So the artwork of the Vatican facility is pretty good, but as you can see, some of the buildings off to the right are kind of wonkied out a little bit and all that. Microsoft Flight Simulator's having to up their game since they made helicopters more prevalent in the sim. Before that, they were airplanes flying at 1,000+ feet, so things didn't have to be so accurate. Now that you can fly right up to them and almost touch them, they're having to work a little harder at making things look a little more realistic. And I guess it's a work in progress. I've been told Microsoft Simulator 2024 does a better job with its scenery. But there's so many issues with it, I'm in no hurry to switch over to it. Okay, so here we are in the plaza, or whatever they call it. That's what I call it. But you got the artwork on top of the buildings there, the statuary and all that. It looks pretty good. You did a pretty good job. Kind of cool. Like I said, these buildings off to the right, I don't know if they really look like that, but if they do, that's some pretty weird construction. Creep up here on some of this and not run into something and crash. I don't know if those are supposed to be saints or what up here at the top of it, but pretty good detail compared to the buildings surrounding it. So somebody obviously wanted to do a good job for the simulator. Okay, now I'm gonna fly quickly back to that white building because I want to take a look at that artwork on top of the building, and then we'll call it a flight. Providing I can find it again. There it is. Slow it down here a little bit. Creep in there. Take a look at this thing. Looks like they might have done a pretty good job. clearly there's places that the creators for this area wanted to do a good job, and other places they kind of sloughed it off, but even the surrounding buildings here are pretty darn good. Pretty cool. A lot of vertical protrusions here to watch out for when you're flying, that's for sure. Could certainly spoil your day, you hit one of those. Okay, I guess we'll head on out. Well, hopefully you enjoyed our little spot flying around in Rome, and hopefully the next one will be as much fun for you. Anyway, until then, you guys take care.